welcome to week 30. Now I know this is a lot different than what you're used to seeing with my backgrounds and everything. I usually have my studio background or my nursery background. However, I am currently on vacation, yay! So yeah, I'm in my swimsuit right now. Isn't that fun? I am at the lake and I usually do a lot of water skiing and wakeboarding and kneeboarding, and I've tried to barefoot ski a couple times. That has not worked. But I can't do any of that this year. So I'm just sitting here with the baby bump in my swimsuit, and I'll probably just jump in the lake and swim around or do some fishing. I don't know. But however, week 30 and week 31 are both going to be filmed here while I'm on vacation, because I obviously cannot drive home to do it in my studio or in the nursery. It's about a 4.5-hour drive. So it will just be done here in one of the rooms at the lake house where I'm at. So I'm going to try to do a quick update just so I can get back to my family and kind of enjoy my vacation. However, I do still want to let everybody know what's going on this week. So at week 30, baby's skin is getting smoother, but baby's brain is getting wrinklier to make way for all that essential brain tissue. Baby's now strong enough to grasp your fingers. The baby is 15.2 to 16.7 inches and 2.5 to 3.8 pounds and continues to grow. My body at 30 weeks, heartburn, which might make sleeping harder to come by, swelling, general discomfort thanks to your big belly, shortness of breath, trouble sleeping, and weird vivid dreams. So for me, week 30 has still been pretty similar to the other weeks. To me, I don't think that there's a whole lot to complain about, but depending on your pain tolerance, if you're experiencing what I'm experiencing now, this might be the time where you start saying you're totally over pregnancy, you don't feel like doing it anymore. But for me, I'm kind of going based off of this idea that if I complain about what I'm experiencing now, then whenever I'm in labor, it's going to be awful, because if I think I'm in pain now, what is it going to be like when I'm in labor and I'm like really in pain? So I just kind of try to not think about what's going on or anything like that, and to me it's been pretty good. So I do have the heartburn. I started getting heartburn and I've had it just a few times, but it is really bad heartburn, like the worst heartburn I've ever had in my life. But luckily Tums do help that. So the one time I took Tums and the other time I didn't do anything and I just went to bed, and when I got up in the morning the heartburn was gone. But my baby is head down and it is kicking on my rib cage and my stomach. Like I can physically feel it kicking my stomach, which I'm sure is just not helping with acid. I'm sure it's kicking stuff up and just not helping in any way. I haven't really experienced any swelling yet. I am asked about my swelling a lot because I'm on a risk for preeclampsia, and that is one of the risks associated with preeclampsia. And so far I haven't really noticed any swelling, but sometimes somebody will be like, oh, it looks like your ankles are swollen. And I look down and I'm like, I don't really think they are, but I guess other people might think they are. I'm not sure. So to me, I have not experienced any swelling yet. General discomfort. This is definitely getting there for sure. There's times where I'm just sitting down and I try to maybe slouch over or sit in a certain position and I just can't do it because the baby's legs are there or its feet are there or my hips hurt or something like that. And yeah, just generally being uncomfortable is definitely a thing that's starting now. But you know, it's kind of expected. Like if you thought you were going to go through your whole pregnancy and just feel exactly the same and do everything you could and still touch your toes, and like that's not going to happen. It's going to get uncomfortable at some point. Shortness of breath. You can probably tell I'm already out of breath from talking. I definitely have a lot of shortness of breath. My belly is up over my rib cage and the child is kicking away at my ribs and my lungs. And I also have asthma, so I have trouble breathing in the first place. So I definitely do have some trouble with the breathing and just, going up and down stairs will just totally take all my breath away. And, it's just one of those things. It definitely is happening. Trouble sleeping was on the list of symptoms, and I always have trouble sleeping. Like, I've got 3 sleeping disorders. I don't sleep well. Being pregnant isn't making it worse or better. I don't sleep well. I usually get a maximum of 2 hours of sleep a night. And that is if, say I go to bed at like 8:30 and I get up around 6 or so. In that time span, I will sleep for 2 hours, and not all of that 2 hours is the REM sleep that you need to be in order to actually get energy back. So I don't know. My nights are pretty rough, but I've kind of learned to adapt to that. I haven't really had any weird vivid dreams. Like I said, I don't sleep very much at all. But when I do, I don't really have dreams. The only dream I had is that my dad's fish died. Like, it's really the only thing I can remember dreaming about in like several weeks. My dad's fish died. I don't know. That's really about it. As far as other symptoms go, I still have that hip pain. I've been saying I've had that hip pain for a really long time. It is getting worse. It is the worst when I get up in the morning, or if I've been sitting or laying around for a long time. I feel like the muscles in the bottom of my uterus get really, really tight, and then it pulls on my hips. And when I first go to stand up, I can almost not stand up right away. Like, I'm slouched over trying to pull my body up because those muscles are just so tight and everything that I just can't do it. But along with that, something that's been starting to happen is my pelvic bone is kind of starting to like stretch itself out and kind of split itself apart, which is normal when you're pregnant and you're getting ready to have a baby. Your pelvic bone will be together, and as the baby's head gets bigger and as you get closer to delivery, it starts to pull apart like this. And that is definitely happening. It does hurt, but at the same time, I've talked to people who said that it hurt so bad that they couldn't move or they couldn't get out of bed. And honestly, it hurts. It does hurt, but it's not that bad. If that's your pain tolerance level and you can't get out of bed when that's happening, then you're definitely one of those people who will definitely need an epidural or some kind of pain relief, because I don't know what labor feels like, but I can imagine it hurts a whole heck of a lot worse than that. And for me, since I cannot have the pain medications, I don't have a choice but to go natural for the most part. There is no point in me complaining about that pain. If I complain about that pain now, there's no way I'm making it through labor. It's just not going to happen. So I usually just try to ignore it, or I just walk through it. I just deal with it. I'm not taking any painkillers or Tylenol or anything for it at all. I just deal with it. I mean, there's nothing else I can really do. It feels kind of like, I don't know, like maybe when your elbows need to pop and you go to stretch them out and they hurt, or just a bone in general, like the bone that just needs to crack and it won't, and it hurts until it cracks. That's kind of what this feels like. And I don't really want to know what it would feel like if things started cracking there, my hip cracks, but I don't know. That would probably not feel good. The other thing is, along with the hip pain, whenever I'm in bed and I roll over, my hip will always pop. I usually use my legs to push myself over when I roll from side to side. My hip will pop every single time I roll over, along with the 3 or 4, maybe 5 bones in the very bottom of my spine. Those will also pop every time I roll over. I don't really think it's anything to be concerned of. I go to the chiropractor, I get everything realigned every couple weeks. It's just part of the process. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else that's going on that I need to talk about. You know, everything's going good so far. My blood pressure has been pretty low. The baby's very active. The doctor says it's really good that the baby's active. The heartbeat has been in the high 150s, low 160s this whole time. And we're just kind of waiting everything out now. We're going to see if I'm dilated at my next doctor's appointment, which would be absolutely terrifying. But we're going to see what happens. And I have that in about a week and a half. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that's all for now. I will see you next time for the week 31 update, which will also be recorded here while I'm on vacation. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.